Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Behind the Reel. Today we are here with Sam Young, and we're going to talk about his most recent success out at the Bull Shoals event, fishing the MoYak Winter Series. I was able to fish one of those events, and I kind of chickened out, and apparently I missed out on some action because he was out there slaying them. So we'll get the inside scoop from him. Appreciate him coming on the show tonight, and definitely appreciate what MoYak is doing over there. They've got a lot of really cool options. They've got the Winter Series, they've got the River Series, they've got a team series, they've got, kind of branched off and did a much larger scale regional series as well with All American, kind of a separate deal, but similar feel. Anyways, so a lot of cool stuff going on next door to us over there in Missouri. Guys, if this is your first time joining us, I just want to say welcome. Appreciate having you guys on here. If you don't know what the channel's about, basically, we're just kind of a Midwest fishing channel, and definitely with an emphasis on kayak fishing. So if that's your thing, then you're in the right place. For all of you guys that have tuned in week in and week out, appreciate you guys as well. All the people that are over there in the comment section, throughout all the episodes. This is number 40, by the way. So we've had 40 of these episodes, and you guys have been great. We've got a lot of views, a lot of watch time. One of these days, we're going to branch out and have this thing available on some podcast, audio only type offerings as well. But for now, we're here on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. And we're going to go ahead and bring Sam on, and we're just going to get right to it. I can see you guys over there in the comment section already. So appreciate you guys. And if you would all do me a favor, as you join in, do me a favor and share this video with a friend. If you've got a buddy who fishes out of a kayak, if you've got a buddy that always whoops up on you in tournaments, whatever the case may be, share this video with a friend. Share it with a group. If you've got a group of, your local club or whatever, if you think they might be interested in something like this, go ahead and share that. Help us get this out to more people. So would definitely appreciate you guys doing that. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and bring Sam on. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, John, what's going on, bud?
Not a whole lot. Thanks for coming in tonight.
Oh yeah, not a problem.
And I'm sure we'll have some people over here in the comment section here before too long. Looks like Fat Bass's TV's on his usual weird stuff, so we'll just flash that across the screen real quick, and that's about all the attention we'll give him for now. But I'm sure we'll have some questions from the MoYak crew over there. You've got a pretty good group of guys over there. A lot of competition.
Oh yeah, big six over there for sure.
So how did it feel getting a win in the Winter Series?
It was awesome. To be honest, I think this is the first year that I really dedicated some time to winter fishing, and it felt great. I kind of went out there with the idea that I may skunk because I had been down to Bull Shoals the past 3 weekends fishing, and I caught one fish over those combined 3 weekends, and that was on a jerk bait. And I didn't have much confidence going in, but got down there and just actually saw some fish moving, hitting topwater stuff. I saw them hitting the top of the water, and I had made a little video on it, and you can see one of the fish blow up, and I was like, well, they're relatively shallow. I started kind of throwing stuff shallow, and got several bites. So it was a great day. It was a lot of fun.
Heck yeah. So how did things change from your pre-fishing conditions to game day? Did any of that information do you any good?
I think the biggest thing was just canceling out water, right?
Yep.
Like making sure, that's one of the biggest things for me pre-fishing is just what water doesn't look good, right? Something that I can't catch fish in. But those previous 3 weekends were actually, because, I just fish on the weekends for the most part, were actually pretty nice weather-wise. Sunny and, 60 degrees or so, and the, winter, that's not bad. And then the weekend before the tournament, that ice storm came, it was some bad weather. So where I wanted to pre-fish that weekend before, all the ramps were ice, and, going down around Bull Shoals is pretty icy, all those hills and stuff like that. So I just went back to River Run Park, and, that's where I caught the one fish on the jerk bait, and was like, well, I'm not going to fish here because I'd rather, find something else and fish stuff that I, am kind of used to throwing. But yeah, I mean, it was, the weather conditions changed with that cold front for sure.
Yeah. So you were able to at least use that information to say, I don't want to fish here anyways.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Because I think I've been to that River Run Park, and I'm sure most people know where that's at, right? It's right by Taneycomo, several times over the past several years. And I think I may have caught 2 fish out of that area. So I know guys can catch them all the time back there, but not me. For some reason, I just can't figure them out there. So I don't think I'm going to fish there very much in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fat basses with a valid question.
That's a good question. I drive through Springfield. Yeah, it's brutal. Yeah, you got to have some kind of soothing music on, or keep your fingers in your pockets, when you're driving.
I think Slipknot might be more fitting.
That's true. I am a Slipknot fan. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep. I've seen them, I think, 3 or 4 times in concert. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
Metalhead.
Do you ever listen to music on the water?
No, I don't. No, for some reason, well, guys are different, but I work in IT during the day, so I have a screen in my face, and, people talking to me all day. When I'm on the water, I just want peace and quiet,
Yeah.
just listen to the sounds of, the water and stuff like that. So, but people are different. I understand, some people like listening to music, and just not my thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I like the idea of it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm out there, I'm just like enjoying, my surroundings and really taking all that in around me. So the music would almost detract from that.
Right. Yeah. Well, and too, like, you have to pay attention to what's going on, with wildlife and stuff like that, because if you're, listening to music or something, you may not hear a bass, hit top water 20 feet behind you or whatever. So just being aware, that's another thing, kind of why I don't listen to music on the water.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good point. What got you into fishing? And then maybe even more in depth on kayak fishing.
Yeah. So I grew up in the boot heel of Missouri. So I fished Lake Wapapello. I mean, that was the only lake I fished, that and rivers and, bar ditches and stuff like that. So my grandpa raised me, bass fishing on the weekends and stuff like that. We did a lot of crappie fishing on Lake Wapapello, and then, just kind of fell in love with it. And then, I came out to Springfield for college, for the IT stuff. And, of course, out here in the Ozarks, I mean, you've got all these great lakes that you can fish, and it just kind of carried over. It's just, definitely a great pastime to have, great hobby to have. It's a little expensive. It can be. But yeah, it's just, I started with fishing with my grandpa out of an old 94 Ranger bass boat, and carried over to the kayak stuff. And, being a college kid, I can afford a bass boat, or, the gas in it and stuff like that. So I actually started out fishing from I forgot the brand of it, but I think it was a Bass Pro layout boat. So I would just use that boat and go to these little conservation ponds like that and stuff, and fished out of that for a while, and decided I liked doing that, and then got into an Ascend H12 kayak. Fished out of that the first year at MoYak. I think I fished out of that for about a year. And then, thought, well, I might as well go big or go home. So got the SS 127 Bonafide, and then put that XI3 on the front with a pinpoint on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love that. And then, I was looking around and tested out that old Town Autopilot, and love that as well. So I switched to that, and that's where I'm in now. So honestly, the kayak thing kind of started just to save a little money, right? Because bass boats, heck, they're expensive now, and gas, running gas and stuff like that get pricey, especially nowadays. So yeah, just that was the way to go for me on budget wise. And fell in love with it. Because it's quiet. You can get to, those skinny waters that, that you can just paddle to and stuff like that, to, where a lot of people haven't been. And it's just, I don't know, it's a blast.
Okay, sorry about that. I had a little bit of technical difficulties going on there. I had two different things going on at once. So you were actually still talking on. Anyways, I have too many tabs open apparently. I did notice though, however, sorry for you guys that are just watching me blankly stare at the screen. Stephen Davis was asking you a question over there on Facebook that for some reason isn't carrying over to our live comment feed over here. So he was asking you if you, so it's kind of a good thing I was spacing off there. Asking you if you listen to Avatar.
I do a little bit. Yeah, I went to a festival out in Kentucky called Louder Than Life. And then they were playing, and that's the only time I've listened to him, but I do listen to him a lot. Some Liquid Metal on Sirius XM is my main station that I use driving around town and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, Avatar's legit.
Okay. I'm more of an Octane guy, I guess.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still hard rock, right? I mean,
yeah,
close enough.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be more of a, back in the day, I was probably more of a liquid. What'd you say?
Liquid Metal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you still get to listen to Jose Mangan, right, over there.
Oh yeah, he's still over there. Yeah, he's on Octane too, I believe.
Yeah. So
that's funny.
But yeah, back in the day, I've got some metal roots. Topeka, Kansas, not really known for a huge metal scene, but a buddy of mine, his older brother was the drummer of Through the Eyes of the Dead.
Oh wow.
And so I've got some stories, hanging out with those guys.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and then buddies of mine were, in smaller bands, but so got some metal roots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I try to slap the metal bass every once in a while, and growing up in high school and a little bit into college, we were in a little metal band and had a few shows, and that didn't last long because we weren't great, right? But we had a lot of fun doing it. So,
yeah, I think I pulled up a picture of you where we might have had similar hairstyles at one point.
Oh yeah, is that the afro?
Something like that,
right? Yeah.
It was like, everybody had hair like over their ears.
Yeah, that was a thing.
But then like I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I don't know what we were thinking, but looking back, we thought
we were cool.
Right. Yeah. Well, heck, even at the time, my parents were like, "You're going to look back at this and think you're an idiot." I'm like, looking back, yeah, I was. So.
Yeah, we did all kinds of silly stuff. Yeah, gauge in your ears. Mom didn't like that one either.
I had my lip pierced. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, if we're not responding to your questions, I'm just wondering if maybe there's other. Yeah, I see like James Leggett is commenting on Facebook. So. I'm not sure what's going on tonight, guys, but if you're watching on Facebook, really would love the interaction over here on the comment feed. You might just jump on over to YouTube, and then that way we can see your comments. For whatever reason, they're not coming over. But Fat Basses did ask about your sponsors. Do you have any sponsors?
Yeah, so I fish with Biz Baits. They're one of the guys that I can fish with. I got their hat. Motion Fishing is another one, and then Savior Outdoors and Woo Tungsten. Those are the four guys I fish with, and they do some great discounts and stuff like that. And I mean, I use their stuff anyway, right? So why not get some discounts on it? They've been great support so far. So it's been a lot of fun.
What's your favorite Biz Bait?
So definitely the Sassy Stick. I'm a Cinco guy. That 5.5 inch Sassy Stick is my go-to. I have it tied on. I would say every time I'm out. I mean, or tie it on at some point. Just Cinco stuff. I mean, you can fish that in winter, summer, spring, fall, right? Anytime. So that's my go-to. Green pumpkin, pretty basic.
And what is your favorite way to rig it?
Texas rig, straight up. Yeah.
Weightless or?
Nope, weighted. Usually quarter ounce weight.
Really?
Yeah, Texas rigged, and seems to always get bites. If you need to speed it up, you can, and slow it down, just drag and touch every piece of rock you can, almost like, Ned rigging stuff. And yeah, it's always tied on.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. And motion, what's your favorite?
Yeah, so I mean, just all their jigs, right? I mean, the flipping brush jig is the one that I use the most. And then I was actually using that a lot down in Texas the past weekend, and got bit on it quite a bit. But again, that sassy stick is what I got bit on the most, that Cinco. So yeah, just their flipping jig, can't beat it. Can't beat it.
Heck yeah. And then what is their kind of claim to fame? They have something different, don't they, with their jigs?
Yes, well, I mean, so most of their heads are painted, if that's what you mean. I'm not sure if that's what you mean or not, but
No, I was thinking there was something different about them, like that made them more weedless or something different about them. Are they just kind of a standard
I
style
mean, standard
jig?
for the most part. I mean,
Yeah.
we may need to talk to those guys, right, to get some more details, but yeah, I think they're pretty much standard for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've got a little
Somebody will prove me wrong though. That's fine.
got a little example of the Savior Outdoors. This is the rod float.
Yep.
So basically, what you guys can do, if you haven't seen it, I've got a couple videos on how to do this mod yourself. But basically, you are going to remove the butt of your rod and stick this sucker on there in place of it. And if you can see on the little illustration that my finger was covering up, there is a line that attaches your rod to this float, and there's a little salt tablet in there that kind of like what you would have inside of your inflatable life jacket. And when that thing gets enough water pressure, it'll ignite, and so your rod will sink, but this float will float up to the top, and you can just pull your rod back in. So,
Yep.
long story short,
expensive mistake once, and then went with those guys, and then Corey was nice enough to let me get on, and like I said, Richie's the one that showed me all the Savior stuff, and man, it's legit. It's a lot easier to use that than have the floats and stuff on your rod, or the everything tethered down and stuff like that. So
yeah.
And they're super easy to put on. It seems like some people worry about actually putting them on, but I mean, they're super easy to install.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. Richie, do me a favor. Go share this on the Savior page. Do that for me if you would. I apparently don't know how to work a computer, because I got over to Facebook and was trying to share this on pages, and I just totally got lost. So sorry about that. Okay, so you mentioned going down to Texas too. So tell us a little bit about that. What were you doing down there?
Yeah, so last weekend was the All-American Kayak Series on Lake Palestine in Texas. So I had went down there after work Thursday. It's about an 8-hour drive from Republic. Went with a few guys, Brian Hillman, Troy Inke, and Jonathan Dominguez, and we got an Airbnb and spent the weekend down there. And Friday did some pre-fishing, didn't do any good, got skunked. So threw on that sassy stick on Saturday, and it was raining and 35 degrees and windy and pretty brutal conditions. And when you go down there to Texas, you assume, well, even at the end of February, beginning of March, well, it should be warm. But it was rough conditions. And then so I caught, I think 74 inches that first day, so a limit. And then that second day I caught one fish all day. So thought I figured them out, got too cocky apparently on Saturday and caught one fish. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and so you ended up, what'd you say, 8th place?
Yeah, 8th out of 55, I believe, was the total. So
nice.
Good for AOI. And my Airbnb roommate Brian came in 3rd, and he slept on the couch at the Airbnb. So I think Jonathan made the joke that he's going to sleep on couches from now on. So get some of that couch luck.
I think he might have been on this show before.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. Yeah. Yep. He's a big MoYak guy too. So
yeah. And you've been fishing with them for a few years now, you said?
I believe 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Cool. Yep. Have you just gotten into it more into it as time goes on, or?
I have, yeah. I think also having kind of a set lifestyle with work and stuff now, I kind of know what my schedule is, and having enough PTO built up at work, I can kind of take a day off or two. to do the farther away, not just with MoYak, but with AAKS stuff as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, Josh runs a great tournament series, and, there's all kinds of great sponsors, and, they hand out stuff at every tournament, and food and, drinks and stuff like that. And it's just a great series.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And you did mention, getting some good AOI points at that Palestine event. And so you planning to fishing every single one of those, or?
I don't know if I can do everyone. I know, the local stuff around here I can do. I'm definitely doing the Kentucky Lake one in two or 3 weeks in March 19th, 20th. So that's coming up. So we'll go fish that one. And, all the, like I said, the local ones to relatively close to Republic that I don't have to drive 5 hours to. I'll be fishing those too. So, yeah, those are a lot of fun as well.
Heck yeah. Yeah, you planning on fishing the Wilson event here in Kansas?
I believe so, yeah, because from Missouri, it's not bad. Was that 4 hours or so? I haven't checked yet. But.
It's probably pretty good, like 5 or 6.
Is it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. I mean, it's close enough. That 9-10 hour stuff, I may not do those, but.
If you're going to fish anywhere in Kansas, I would say go to Wilson.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
It's a good lake. Just ask Chad about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's caught monsters there.
Wilson does not look like most Kansas lakes. A Missouri guy probably would do pretty well there.
Really? Yeah. Well, I'll have to check it out then.
Oh, we got a question here from our buddy Richie. Fishing the Taney 20?
Yes, sir. Sure am. So that's March. I can't remember. 26th, I think, something like that. But yeah, I'm excited. Somebody will have to show me their holes though, because I think I can catch fish there, but they're all, the 12-inch variety. So
I bet Richie could show you where to fish on Taney.
That's what I'm planning on, or we'll just drive around looking for his truck around the lake, see where he's at.
Yeah, you'll have to throw those big swim baits though.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that yet, but I guess that's how you catch big fish, right? Big bait, big fish.
Yeah. So tell us about the Taney 20. What is that for folks that don't know?
Yeah, so it's basically the top 20 from MoYak standings last year. We'll fish the Taney 20, and it's you don't have to pay an entry fee. It's all paid, and Crocagator, one of the sponsors, is going to be doing kind of the sponsorship of it. So I believe, I can't remember. I know it's a trophy and stuff like that. So we'll have to ask Josh, what exactly that is. But yeah, basically the top 20 from MoYak last year.
That's cool. Top 20 anglers then, or 20%, or
top 20 anglers. Yeah. So, and okay. I believe 2 more are invited. I can't. I believe, was it the winter AOI winners? I believe they're invited too. So.
Okay. And how was it going against? Was that Justin Kuhn?
Yep. Yeah.
How was it going up against him in the winter series?
It was great. Like I said, it seems like he's got every lake figured out for winter, from what I can tell. But yeah, it was great. We had a good battle, and of course he's a great angler, and he's almost came in first, I think, in almost every tournament for the most part. So yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I always say that I'm gonna fish more in the winter, but you did say that you were really kind of branching out and just trying something new, because you don't typically fish that time of year.
Yeah. Well, it seems like winter time, I kind of previously kind of put the fishing rods up and went deer hunting and duck hunting and stuff like that. But it seems like I see all these guys in the winter catching their PBs and stuff. I'm like, well, I might as well get out there even though it's cold. You can get wet, but I don't know. It just seems like hunting's great, right? You get food and stuff like that. But I just wanted to branch out and try the winter thing. And like I said, it turned out pretty well. So.
Yeah, I would say so. Second place, right, in AOI.
Yep, behind Mr. Justin Kuhn. So.
What was it? 3 or 4 events?
4. Yeah, 4
was
events.
There 4?
Yeah.
So you did Table Rock.
Was a drop. Yep, Table Rock, Stockton, Bull Shoals, and what was the 4th one?
Did you do Palm de Terre?
No. Mm-mm.
Did you do Table Rock twice or any of them twice?
Man, I cannot remember now.
No.
Truman, maybe. Maybe it's Truman.
Truman.
No, or Lake of the Ozarks. That's what it was.
Okay,
Lake of the
that's right.
Ozarks. Yeah. Yeah.
Richie just wants to remind us that, the 26th would be the 2-year anniversary of the day that he caught 2 9s in the same day.
Yeah.
So on the 26th, I'll just remember how inferior of a bass fisherman I am than you.
Those 2 9s, man, that's intense. That'd be a nice day.
Jeez. And that's in
Yeah.
Missouri.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
That's in Missouri. They're in there.
Yeah. Got to find them. Like I said, throw those big swim baits.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what he was throwing. Was it like a mag draft or something? I don't remember.
It may have been a KGB. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
What did you have any like tournament fishing experience before you joined MoYak at all?
Oh, heck no. No, I was green as can be. Kind of, I think, well, back then we could use hog troughs and stuff like that. And
Yep.
I'd say, I think that first year I may have lost 50 fish off the board, because I didn't know what I was doing. I'd catch the fish, throw it on there. And then I was in that age 12 at the time. So sitting down inside the kayak, my board would be on top of the gunnels, and I didn't know what I was doing. And the fish's mouth would be open and I'd be having a heck of a time. And, yeah, I mean, it was still fun then too. Right. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you said like 4 years. So what is that, like 2017, something like that?
Yeah. 2017, 2018, I believe. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And then MoYak blew up, man. It's got a lot of good anglers in it. That's for sure.
It has gotten quite a bit bigger since then.
It has.
I mean, it was kind of on the rise there, when I don't know, when Josh took it over, it seemed to.
Oh yeah.
Seemed
He's done a great job at it. And like I said, in the summer and spring, I mean, we get 100 boats, almost not every tournament, but I mean, there's some good numbers there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see, the Kansas event. I want to see the Wilson event, really show out this year. I think we might have had like 40, maybe 50 anglers out there at Wilson.
Yeah.
And, we just don't have as big of a scene as you guys have. I mean, you guys are in the Ozarks. You're in, one of the best fishing meccas of the world. I mean, you really are.
Definitely blessed.
You got a special thing going on over there, but for whatever reason, we don't have near the attendance. So we're kind of trying out this year to try to do something similar to MoYak, and we're doing the Kansas Kayak Anglers this year.
Nice.
Where we took the four existing clubs and joined them all into one big kind of mega series.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully we'll see more attendance out there, because I think we only had 40 or 50 guys, but.
Yeah. Heck, I mean, 50 guys still, though. That's a good turnout. So.
Yeah, but a good portion of those guys traveled too. So I'd love to see 40 or 50, plus Kansas guys out there, plus all of you guys that are traveling and fishing this circuit. So for all my Kansas guys that are listening right now, show up. And we want All-American to keep coming back. We really do. Wilson, I'm telling you, Wilson is going to be a good one. I don't remember what, kind of limit he caught, but it had to have been in the, 90s. So, I mean, not a bad limit.
No. Yeah, that's great.
So, you guys dip into those 100-inch limits every now and then, don't you?
They do. It seems like almost every tournament, but
really,
I mean, I don't see how they find the big ones all the time. It seems like the same, handful of guys do, and it's like, yeah, they're definitely good anglers, man. And when you see those guys in the water at the same ramp you're at, you're like, okay, I know where they're at now. So it's, like I said, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is. It's the same guys are catching the big fish all the time. There's definitely something to it, and that's kind of part of the reason why we have this podcast is I'm just trying to figure out what it is so I can catch some fish for myself. So hopefully you'll give me some of the deets.
Like I said, I don't think my PB's great. Maybe 21 inches, so you got a lot of these Missouri guys that are at 24, 25-inch fish. And I mean, it's funny, the online stuff for MoYak, I mean, 120 inches, a lot of the months in the spring and summer, I'm like, where do you guys find these fish? I need to know. But yeah, it's intense for sure.
Did you see on the Bass Nation, the championship day one today, where somebody caught a 24 3/4?
I saw that. Was that Casey Reed, I believe?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That's
nuts.
crazy. Yeah. Good for him.
Heck yeah, man. I
Yeah.
can't believe it.
And I think he's sitting in maybe like 8th place, 5th place, something like that,
Yeah.
with a 24.5-inch fish.
I think he still had some small ones in the, in his limit, but
yeah.
still, yeah, yeah. So I think they're catching them, and I don't know that. I mean, it's South Carolina. I mean, I don't know that it's. I feel like that region is more known for spotted bass,
Yeah.
than anything. So to see that big of a largemouth was kind of surprising to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to follow those guys around too, because it seems like, with the Bassmaster and the KBF, it seems like there's a guys up on the top of the leaderboard too. So
Yeah. Heck yeah. Do you have any plans of doing the Bass Nation stuff and trying to fish that event
so
next year?
I kind of debated it maybe next year, kind of devoting to it. But this year I kind of wanted to do more of the regional stuff, like I said, AAKS and MoYak. Like I said, I can't miss those now. I mean, like I said, that it too fun to talk with those guys and fish with those guys. And
Yeah.
again, what Josh is doing with the club, can't miss them.
Yeah. It's right in your backyard. You gotta do those.
Heck yeah. But yeah, no, the Bass Nation stuff, it looks like it's they're starting to get some stuff worked out, and hopefully everything goes well for them. But yeah, I've debated it maybe next year. So
Heck yeah. What about your kayak setup? We did have a question on that earlier.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'm in the old Town Autopilot 120 right now, and I don't have anything really special other than the kayak itself. It's got the motor on it, so that's really all I need for the most part. Get around to some different spots, and actually travel the lake instead of kind of being stuck to one area. But like I said, if you can paddle the whole lake or pedal the whole lake, get on you. But yeah, that motor's definitely helped for sure.
Yeah. Do you have any electronics or?
I do. I have the Lowrance HDS7 Live. Yeah. So no active target, unfortunately, or stuff like that. But maybe one day we'll see.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Seems like if you can figure that out, that's the way to go. But you got to work at that too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I know a guy who might be able to get you one of those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just send it to my messages and we'll contact them.
Okay. Heck yeah. So how did that change? I guess you had a trolling motor on your last boat, you were saying, right?
Yeah, so I was in the SS127 before this one, which had the XI3 with a pinpoint on it. But I think basically for me personally, just to find different water and be able to move across, the lake for the most part, especially like, in the afternoon when it's dog days of summer, you're exhausted from paddling all day and you still got to get back to the ramp. And, before when I was just paddling, I mean, I would put up the gear at, 1:00 and tournament would go till 3:00, and, I'd kind of be done for the day. But now I can run all day for the most part. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Do you, well, I guess, I don't know if we talked about this after we've gone live or not. But has the trolling motor allowed you to maybe fish more offshore, or is that kind of a plan to maybe do that with it? What kind of plans do you have or advantages do you have with that trolling motor when you're fishing out a little bit deeper?
Yeah, so I definitely think it has its advantages, right? Especially with that spot log. You can fish out deep, but I just haven't really got into it yet. It seems like, well, heck, even in the winter, I'm throwing shallow and there's got to be fish in there somewhere shallow, right? It's just about finding them. But yeah, I think the trolling motor would definitely allow you to be a better deep Fisherman. But not saying that you can't do that with, you know, a paddle or pedal or anything like that. But it
Yeah.
just seems like with that motor, especially heck, if the wind's going, you know, throw the spot lock on and you're, you know, stuck in place. But, you know, I know a lot of the guys are good at it, and I just haven't picked up that skill yet. So maybe keep working at it.
Well, I mean, I would say you had some pretty good success, you know, trying out a new, um, I don't know if technique's the right word, but a new approach with the whole winter fishing thing.
Yeah.
So if you put your mind to it, I'm sure you'll be able to figure out the whole offshore thing as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like I said, heck, I mean, there's what, thousands of YouTube videos on it now, and heck, even those guys in kayaks are doing it. So, yeah, just need to put some time in and get on the water, and that's really, you know, how you get better.
Yeah. Maybe that would come in handy, you know, in the dog days of summer when fish
Yeah,
are maybe moving offshore a little bit.
for sure. Yeah, yeah, and maybe that's how those guys catch the big ones in the summer. Um, like I said, I need to follow them around, but yeah, that's a good skill to have for sure.
Yeah. But you like fishing more shallow stuff. So
Mhm.
um what kind of like cover and structure, like kind of go through maybe some of your favorite scenarios to fish.
Yeah, yeah. So honestly, first thing I look for all the time is rock, right? Hard bottom, chunk rock, things like that. If it's just like a mud bank, even with some sticks on it, I usually don't throw at that stuff, you know, down brush piles in mud, which I know you can catch fish there. But usually rock's the biggest thing I look for. And honestly, I think I've caught more fish within 100 yards of the boat ramp that I'm fishing than I've fit, you know, anywhere else, which is
Really?
kind of, you know, it's weird having a trolling motor and then all your fish are, you know, 100 yards within the ramp. Um, but yeah, rock stuff, all the marinas, docks, things like that. Transition banks, right, from pea gravel to chunk rock to, you know, shelf rock, stuff like that, ledges and things like that. That's definitely the things I look for: shallow or bank, right, beating the bank.
Yeah. I got a buddy that is from the Ozarks area, and he loves to throw a football jig out, you
Mm,
know, 20 foot of water. I mean, he throws it out probably way deeper than that. But to me, I'm like,
right.
man, I don't want to drag a jig in 20 foot of water. Were you crazy?
Yeah, like I said, some of those guys, and I see a lot of guys in summer too, and I haven't tried it, but they catch fish doing it. Is they'll be super close to the bank and out deep, like you're talking about. And I haven't never been like that. I always just have targets on the bank that I throw to, and I mean it's worked out for the most part. But you know, sometimes when it's like I said, dog days or you know, dead of winter, those are tough fish to find for sure.
Yeah. Heck yeah. All right. And then what about your kind of standard pre-fishing rituals, if you will? Like, what are some of the things you like to do? You know, when you're talking about going to Kentucky Lake, like, what are
Mhm.
some of the things you're going to do here at home? And then also maybe once you get to the water, what are some things you want to do out there at the lake?
Yeah, yeah. So definitely at home, map study, bring up Navionics chart viewer, especially like I said, it won't be for Kentucky Lake, but when it gets, you know, warmer, finding those deeper areas, finding those drop offs and stuff like that on the chart viewer. But a lot of map study, a lot of honestly looking for public ramps, right? Because I haven't been to Kentucky Lake either. So of course you want to launch out of a public area. So looking at that stuff. And then when I'm out there, you know, I spend a good amount of time just driving to the different ramps that I've found on the maps to see if they actually look decent or not. You know, because sometimes looking at Google Earth or, you know, Google Maps and stuff like that, you can't really tell if it's rock or pea gravel, you know, on the banks and stuff like that. So I spend a good amount of time just running water and, you know, um, basically canceling out water that doesn't look great or fishy or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but that's one thing. And then I usually get on the water and look for bait fish, you know, a lot of the time. And usually if there's bait fish there, right, there's going to be bass. So that's another big chunk of it. And I never fish really hard on the pre-fishing days because I know, I mean, right, fish are everywhere. You just have to figure them out in that area.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a finesse fisherman?
I would, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the most power fishing I do is that crankbait, right? I mean, jigs, sassy stick stuff, big 10-inch worms. That's kind of the stuff I usually tend to go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the crankbait of choice?
It's the Spro Rock Crawler RK55 in red craw.
Okay.
Even in summer, winter, spring, I throw that same color and it seems to always catch fish. Don't, seems like people say red in spring, but I'm telling you, throw it all year, you'll get bit on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was at Table Rock, I found one of those, like mint condition, brand new, but it wasn't red. It was like a green color, but I was like,
Yeah.
man, that's awesome. But
Yeah.
I didn't catch any fish on it. If you ever
Right.
find a lure out there on the water, you're supposed to tie it on and fish it.
Yeah. And catch something. Yeah. Well, and Spro makes a color now too called Stone Cold, I think is the name of it.
Yeah.
It's got a
Which
little blue on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and they say that's, I mean, great for winter or fishing rivers and stuff like that. But I just haven't tied it on yet. I finally found some at Bait Works here in
Yeah.
Springfield, but because they're sold out so quick. But yeah, they finally had some in stock, so I picked some up.
Tell us about Baitworks.
Yeah. So Bait Works is here in Springfield. They basically were they're a shop that came over from, I believe it was Sportsman's Warehouse, or I can't remember the exact name, but they were over by Lou's. So they, closed down and then started a Bait Works, which is a split off of Boat Works as well. So they have their boat stuff here, and it's a great little tackle shop. And between that and then Modern Outdoor out in Nixa, those are kind of the two main spots I go to get all my gear. Bass Pro is here too, but you kind of want to support the small guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Baitworks is badass. And you guys have heard me talk about it several times. If I were to have designed a tackle shop, like that's what it would look. It probably wouldn't even be that cool, if you could just do whatever you wanted, and have all of your favorite baits in there. Like it still wouldn't be as cool as Baitworks is. So
yeah,
they've got all the juice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And they'll order stuff for you too. If you can't find it, they'll order it, it's pretty simple. So
what about Modern Outdoor?
Yeah, Modern Outdoor Tackle. So they actually are a Modern Outdoor. It's kind of like a social media business, and then they started their own little bait shop down there. And like I said, there's a few guys in MoYak. I don't know if they've sponsored by them or what, but I know they promote their stuff a lot.
Yeah,
it's a small shop, but they have everything you'd want there too. So yeah, it's a great little shop down in Nixa.
Yeah, I know Oliver Nye works with them at some capacity, and they've got a lot of swim bait. They've got a lot of kind of like garage build swim baits and stuff that are hard to find, I believe. Not all just the big brand stuff. So
like I said, if you're in the area, and then if you're in Truman Lake area, go check out Everhart's Outdoors. I mean, they're, like I said, if you're a kayak fisherman, especially, they have Old Town, New Canoe. Jared Fosno up there, he'll take care of you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of that going on over there. I mean, but it makes sense. I mean, that's, like I say, it's a mecca.
Yeah, it's been going great. So I'm glad people are spending their time doing that instead of some other stuff they could be doing. So kind of get their mind off the stuff in the news and stuff like that. So
yeah, don't watch the news.
No, right? Yeah.
Go turn on the Bassmaster Classic.
That's right. Yeah, follow that live tracking on the MLF and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Daniel says that Baitworks is on his bucket list, and he's going to hit it up on his next trip to Springfield.
Yeah, like I said, you won't regret it for sure.
No, it'll be hard not to spend a bunch of money though.
Every time.
Heck yeah. All right, let's see. I've got some other things I might want to cover here. Can you think of anything that we might have missed? How about, like, what does your schedule look like coming up with events that you're going to be fishing this year? What are some big ones that you're really excited about?
Yeah. So honestly, Kentucky Lake is one I'm very excited about. And I know I don't know if they've been on the decline, but they're kind of doing that repopulation of fish because they had the carp issue for a while. And, growing up fishing with my grandpa, he always talked it up. And, that was kind of one of his go-to lakes because, from the Boot Heel, it's 3 hours, 2.5 hours. So not bad, right? You could do that in a weekend easily in a day. And, just hearing him talk about it. And I've always wanted to go out there and, like I said, fish Kentucky Lake, and that's probably the one I'm most excited about. And then, a lot of the MoYak stuff's, kicking off. That Taney 20 is coming up, which I'm really excited about. And into March, who knows where the fish will be, but they pre-spawn, maybe even spawn at that time. I don't know, but we'll kind of see how that goes. But ask Dorman Huey. He's the one you need to talk to about that. But that, like I said, I'm pretty excited about it. And then the All-American Kayak Classic, not the Classic, but the shootout is, that's coming up too. I don't know the exact date on it, but
it's like April 25th or 20 something maybe.
Yeah, I think so. 28th and 29th, sometime in April. So that'll be a good one too, because that's the pre-qualifier for next year's Classic. Like I said, and I don't know, have you been to one of those yet? Or
I haven't, so I'd really like to go. I think I might go fish that shootout, but I've never been to Truman.
Yeah, there's some, like I said, just take it careful. What do you fish out of? I'm not sure what you fish out of.
I'm in a pro angler.
Okay, yeah. So just watch out for the stumps for sure. I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And then again, Everhart's puts that on, and they give a free kayak away every year. And it's a legit setup too. It's a new canoe with the XI3. I think the past 2 years they've given that away, and
nice.
I mean, it's run very well.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
What how do you keep yourself grounded when things aren't going your way? Like, do you find yourself getting upset? What do you do to maybe, bring yourself down to focus on the fish?
Yeah, so I was actually telling the guys this at the Airbnb last weekend on Palestine. I was getting very frustrated because it was the first day, cold, rainy, and I had been fishing for 4 hours with not a nibble, miserable conditions and stuff like that. So I went back to my truck, got in the truck, had a drink of Gatorade, and sat in my truck for about 30 minutes, warmed up a little bit, and just kind of started thinking about, what am I doing wrong, things like that. But just take 30 minutes and take a break, right? I mean, it's fishing. I mean, yeah, you're fishing in a tournament, but it's not life or death, and just kind of rethink what you're throwing. And, for the first 4 hours, I was throwing power stuff, right? I mean, rock crawlers and jerk baits and things like that. And then just when I busted out that Cinco, I mean, that's when, started finding them. So yeah, just take 30 minutes and take a little break.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Can you think of a specific time on the water? Maybe there was an event that you ended up doing well in, that didn't start out that way, where, your pattern didn't hold up, but you had to make an adjustment on the water, and it worked out in your favor. Can you think of a time like that?
Yeah, I think Lake of the Ozarks, I believe it was last year. I think so. I'd gone up there pre-fishing for 2 days, and it was not chocolate milk, but pretty dirty water. So I was throwing, again, a lot of power stuff, black and blue chatter baits, spinner baits, stuff like that. Didn't get a single bite in pre-fishing stuff. And Saturday when it came around, I was like, well, I think it was into March, April time frame. And I was like, well, surely these fish are spawning now, or at least getting some of them. Maybe the big girls are moved up. And so slowed it down and started throwing a weighted wacky rig on the Cinco, and started throwing behind docks. And then I think I caught maybe 92 inches or so, and then came in second place and that was an AAKS one.
Nice.
It was frustrating because I caught the same 19-inch fish twice. So luckily I caught a decent one. I think it was a 17 that replaced that that one I caught twice. But when I got to the award ceremony,
what kind of time span between?
It was, I think, It was, I caught it in the morning and then again about 2 o'clock. So it was like
Holy
8 to
crap.
2. Yeah. So it was definitely on a bed.
Same
But
exact area.
yeah, yeah, it was underneath the dock on Lake of the Ozarks, same exact area.
Man, and you were just like, did you know right away it was the same
I
fish?
thought it may have been, but I had submitted it anyway, because I
Yeah.
wasn't sure. I didn't want to go through all my photos and stuff at the time, and
Yeah.
so when I got to the weigh-in, Josh was like, "Hey, Sam, come here. I got to talk to you for a second." Gosh, I know what this is about. And he was like, "Yeah, that's the same 19-inch fish." And he showed me, of course, and he wasn't a jerk about it or anything, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's you can't do that, catch the same fish twice. And so luckily I had that second one, that other one that was decently sized and still allowed me to get in second place. But it was just interesting. I'd never well, not that I know of, caught the same fish twice in a row like that. So
That's wild, man.
yeah, it was intense.
Especially like that far apart, I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe it's more likely that you'd catch them that far apart, but
maybe she forgot that
I
she
don't
just
know.
got
Maybe
hooked.
same bait.
Yeah, yep, it's the
Oh
same
my
bait.
god.
That wacky rigged black and blue Cinco. And
Yeah.
that's another thing I was throwing
Sassy
on.
stick.
Yep, sassy stick. And it seems like maybe other people do this. I don't know. But that Tackle HD jig head, I think it's maybe the half ounce, I believe. I was using that. So pretty
Pretty heavy.
big weight, yeah,
Yeah.
with that sassy stick. And they were just, destroying it, so
That's cool.
yeah.
Apparently we were missing some other comments because I'm looking over here on the Facebook deal, and James Leggett is mentioning that the Central States Kayak Series is co-hosting the Wilson All-American event.
Oh, heck yeah.
So he's gonna have a hand in that.
That'll be awesome.
I want to see some prizes given away this year. There wasn't any prizes or anything at the last one. Maybe it had something to do with the attendance. I don't know, but yeah, James, get on that for me, would you?
Yeah.
He also
People's
wanted well, yeah, because MoYak usually they give away a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
He also wanted to congratulate you on your health journey. He
Oh,
said
yeah.
it's been super inspirational to follow, and
Thank you.
again says nice work, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, like I said, if you don't know me, I had started out about 464 pounds, and then I'm down about 150 so far. So,
Wow.
low carb and get a little bit of exercise in, and yeah, it's been going good. So I really appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah, and I'm sure the kayaking kind of helps out with some of the extra
Yeah,
exercise there.
yeah, especially when I was in a paddle kayak, but now that I'm in a motor one, yeah,
Not as
negligible.
much.
But I got to do other stuff during the week. But yeah, no, it's been good.
Heck yeah. What does fishing mean to you? Like this is going to get deep for a second, I
Yeah,
guess, but and take this however you want. It doesn't have to
sure.
be deep, but like what does fishing mean to you? And then like how do you relate it to other aspects of your life? However that you want to.
Looks like. Yeah, yeah. So I honestly think getting into the outdoors, whether it be fishing or hunting or whatever, honestly, I'm a believer in Jesus Christ, and it just brings me closer to Him and closer to the Lord, just being surrounded by what He's created. And it just kind of, I don't know, grounds me, right? Shows me how small I am and kind of, gives me a reset. Um, when I'm doing IT stuff all day, looking at a TV screen or a computer for 12 hours a day on the weekend, I just want to, unwind and just kind of escape from it all. And fishing lets me do that. Even if I don't catch fish, right? It's a great day on the water. Heck, even if like it was at Palestine, weather was terrible, it's still a lot better than being at work. um, so yeah, honestly, it just allows me to get in creation and kind of enjoy it, and then that run into a lot of people too. I've built some really strong friendships doing the fishing stuff, and it seems like 99% of the people that fish are, great people that just want to, find kind of a sense of a community doing the same stuff. And so fishing has allowed me to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Heck yeah, man.
yeah,
Appreciate that.
yeah,
One other thing here. I know we kind of said we'd keep it around an hour.
yeah.
Um, You're
bedtime.
kind of yeah, I know. I'm kind of going in between whether we do this thing at 8 or 9, and it's kind of
Yeah.
based off of my schedule, and unfortunately, but
Oh, that's fine. I'm sure
uh,
everybody appreciates it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it seems like there have been times where 9 o'clock makes sense, and then other times where you don't hardly have anybody on. But if you guys are watching this live, appreciate you guys, but there will be plenty more people that come on and watch it for weeks to come. So
Yeah.
I just think it's important to put some of this information out there. I think that somebody who wants to get into kayak fishing, I think this is an opportunity for them to hear about maybe somebody else's experiences. Also, learn something, that maybe they wouldn't have known otherwise, whether that's how you like to pre-fish or your favorite bait or, gosh, I never would have thought to throw a half ounce, on my wacky rig or whatever it
Right. Yeah.
is. Whatever it is, I think that, just having the information out there is going to get more people into the sport. And that's
Absolutely.
kind of the whole purpose of this thing. And
Yeah.
I
Well, like
think
I
a lot
said, yeah, if
yeah,
anybody's in that area, and wants to go fishing, I'm on the weekends, I'm free. So you don't have to take me to your honey hole, and we'll just have a good time. Like I said, I've met a lot of good friends that way. So don't be afraid to reach out to me or heck anybody. If they're especially a kayaker, it seems like, they're more than willing to take people fishing with them. So,
yeah.
so it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and maybe it's not the safest thing in the world because I've gone out with just complete strangers. Like, oh yeah, just come meet me at my house at 5 o'clock in the morning, and
Yeah.
I'll take you to the lake. Like
Yeah.
maybe not the best idea in the world.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to be careful for sure. But like I said, it's pretty much I don't know everybody, but anybody in MoYak or AKS, speaking from experience, anybody you reach out with them, they'll take you and you'll have a good time. So
Yeah, you'll if you're new to the sport, you'll come to realize that we got a pretty good group of guys, like nationwide, really. Yeah, people are always willing to loan a kayak or give you advice or whatever it might be. So I think people are surprised by that. They hear the word tournament and they get scared away from that, and
right,
oh well, I can't compete in a tournament, and
yeah,
you
and
know
don't
half
even yeah, I don't think you have to think. I mean, you don't really have to think of it as a tournament and being super pressured. Just go out and enjoy fishing with buddies if you want to go with people, or just go by yourself and enjoy the time on the water. And I wouldn't put too much stock on winning money and stuff like that. And if you love to do it, right, you're going to keep coming back whether you win or lose. So it's just a great sport to get into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna close with one last question. I've been forgetting to ask this question. This was a good one, and I've been just kind of neglecting. I've got a list of questions over here that I forgot all about, but here it is. So, what is one thing like? So you're the host of the show, okay, and I'm your favorite angler or biggest competition, whatever. You can ask me one question. What would it be? So if it's your favorite angler, maybe it's the type of presentation that he likes to throw. Maybe it's a question about that or whatever. But you've got one person you can pick, and then I want to know what is the one thing you would ask him.
So the one person I would pick is Bill Dance.
Okay.
So I think most of us love that guy. And I just want to know how he finds fish. I mean, pretty basically, just when he gets on the water, kind of like you asked me before, what do you do to, pre-fish and stuff like that? Like I would like to know what his pre-fishing days or, pre-shoot days. And, he's big time now, so he probably has other people, help him out. Right. But before he got big, like, how did he find fish and how did he catch? I mean, he's consistently catching big fish, and I don't know. I just love to hear what his strategies are finding those fish. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, definitely appreciate you joining us tonight. Congrats on the good job you did with not only the Bull Shoals event but the Winter Series as a whole.
Yeah, thank you.
and we look forward to seeing you at the top of the leaderboards, this season with MoYak and the All-American. You've already got an 8th place finish. I mean, that'll go a long way. I really think it will.
Yeah, I'm excited for sure. So, like I said, there's a lot of good anglers in that, and MoYak, and heck, everywhere across the U.S. So we'll see what happens. But again, just gonna try to have fun doing it and not get too frustrated.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. All right. Well, something we didn't even talk about. So, guys, if you're hanging in this long, you guys get this little nugget. What is your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is pretty easy, Sam Young. So kind of hard to find, I guess, just because it's my name. But honestly, most of my social media stuff is like Sam Young Fishing, Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. And but yeah, I've got my YouTube link on Instagram, which is just Sam Young Fishing. So I try to post pretty quick on YouTube stuff now. I got the good old GoPro 10 on the back and an external battery supply. So I just turn it on at the beginning of the day and let it run all day. And, at the end of the day, kind of edit stuff down. And it's been a lot of fun. And I put the Bull Shoals ones up, a 2 weeks ago, a week ago. Mm-hmm. And I've got the AAKS both days recorded. So I'm working through editing that right now and going to throw that up on the channel too. So it was a fun one.
Yeah. So if you guys want to see, we talked about it here, how we did it, but if you guys want to actually see how it all went down, go check him out, Sam Young on YouTube. Yep. All right, man. Well, you have a good one. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, thanks for the time.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. You too. We'll see you on the water.
All right. See you, man.
All right. See you, bud.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. There you have it. Sam Young, MoYak Winter Series, Bull Shoals winner. He came in second place, the AOI standings for the Winter Series, and he's already swinging the hammer early this year, and he stirred up some ruckus down there in Texas with the All-American. So looking forward to following him along this year, seeing how he does, and so make sure you check him out, Sam Young on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, guys. Next week we've got Andy Moore will be on the show to talk about the big win down there in Texas. And the following week, we got Mark Pendergraft to talk about, his big win last year with the the Kayak Bass Nation National Championship. So we've got some good shows lined up for you. We've got some local crappie guide coming on here as well. So we're going to try to mix it up. We're going to try to tickle everybody's fancy. That sounds kind of weird saying that, but that's what we're going to try to do. So I know that this channel really focuses on kayak fishing, but I also want to give the people in this area, whether that's Kansas or, the Midwest, but I want to give the people in this area kind of, the information that they're wanting. So maybe crappie, bass, catfish. I'm sure we'll have some catfish guys on here at some point. Whatever it may be, bank fishermen, kayak fishermen, bass boat. We're going to mix it up. So appreciate you guys tuning in, being a part of our growth here with Behind the Reel. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off. We'll see you on the next one.